What's up, guys? It is Monday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock. I've been kind of bumming it today, as you can tell from the church or church. Um, just been outside, did a little workout and outside, and then did a little walk. And just want to give you guys a little update on what's going on. And did you guys, we do the final score, we do sports. Did you guys see the freaking contract that Jalen Hurts signed today? 5 years, $255 million. $110 million fully guaranteed at signing. Third highest figure in NFL history. It's also the first no trade clause given to a player in Eagles franchise history. So includes just over 179 million in guarantees, 179 million and 110 fully guaranteed. So Eagles fans are happy, but I say this, and I said this to some Eagle fans: you're gonna throw the bank at him, at Jalen Hurts, and you did. But what cost? I mean, this is his job. I know he wants to get the best money that he can, but what's going to be the cap? I want to see what kind of cap damage this does to Philadelphia. Hold on a second. Let me get this. Uh, See if anybody's. Because for some reason, I don't know what StreamYard does. And I've talked to him about it before. But I can't see all the comments that are coming in, but I can see some of them. I don't know what it's why it doesn't let me see all of them. I'll have to ask him again. Um, what does this do as far as cap damage goes? I would love to hear that. Um, and now, you know, a guy that's in the Final Score group, a big supporter, of the show, Daryl Badham, was talking about. He made the comment and posted in the Final Score group. Lamar Jackson should take notice. 179 million guaranteed, and he's got an agent. So, yeah, you might want to get an agent, Lamar. You might want to get an agent and do that. Um, Changing the subject from sports to music, I got a bad feeling about that microphone cord. We just put up the second round for you guys that are listening right now on Twitter, and you should be listening. Um, we just put the second round up of the ACDC Thunderstruck Music Madness tournament, and great response so far. I'm just gonna look at what we got up here so far. Yeah, um, a lot of people up here voting and commenting. We appreciate every one of you that are doing this, especially the people that are sharing, retweeting. Guys, you rock. There's a lot of people up here that have retweeted stuff that I'm picking up. People that I'm not even they're not even followers up here. They're doing just to read off a few of these. Jason Hajar, I don't know if I mess up your name. I'm sorry. John Gross, he's a big supporter. Kevin McNamara has been up here before. Lauren Weir, he always chimes in. Uh, LV 6970. Now he's come along in the last few months on here. Posse Vitala. If I say any of you guys' names wrong, I apologize. But yeah, he's been a big supporter. Uh, John Warsap has got up here retweeted, and man, he has been retweeting away, and we appreciate it. So you got about another day. The poll goes up for 2 days, and we're getting good response so far. Getting a lot of votes. Uh, yeah, some close ones up here. Some I'm already surprised about. Earlier, I know when I put up Thunderstruck, Thunderstruck was down for a while to jailbreak. Thunderstruck's pulled ahead now. So get out there, make sure you vote if you're on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, go right over to Twitter and you can follow me right here at On the Fly. Right down there at the bottom, you see it right there. You can follow me on Twitter right there. And get your votes in. We do these brackets so often. We haven't done a music chart one in a while. We need to do that probably next. But I'm just looking at, wow, that's got a bunch of votes so far in a short time. So get your votes in. Check us out. We just put out 2 new episodes of On the Fly. I'm working on the final score stuff to put up. First, we put Michael Murphy from a New Zealand rock band, Written by Wolves. And Michael was great. He shared a lot with us, talked about his influences. We talked about their new single, Give 'Em Hell. And they put an alternate single up there, too, of Give 'Em Hell. These guys are big over in New Zealand, and hopefully they'll be coming to the States soon. Kind of I don't know, they've got like a Linkin Park sound if you like something like that, but they rock. And the collab EP, we talk about that on the podcast, collab EP. If you look it up on Apple or Spotify, you'll find it up there. Just a great idea. They did a lot of collaborations. They did POD was on. There was a lot of different bands that were on that album with them. But yeah, check them out. Check Written by Wolves. You want to check them out, find them all social media. Then you can find them at writtenbywolves.com. You can check out the stuff. They've got merch. They've got vinyl up there. If you any of you vinyl collectors up there, they've got some vinyl up there too. Then we did Miss Noelle Tollard. We did our top 10 favorite Trisha Yearwood songs. If you're a fan of country music, of course, you know who Trisha Yearwood is. Married to Garth Brooks, but she is incredible singer. Probably one of my favorite country singers. And me and Noelle had a good time comparing our list. We had 6 duplicates on that list, including the number 1. And right now, if you're on Twitter, you can also go and check out and vote to see who did it better, because our lists are up there on Twitter. And you can vote to see who did it better. Was it Noelle or was it me? So right now, let me look here and see who's in the lead. Oh, I'm in the lead. 60% of the people are saying that I did a better job picking list. Noelle will not like that. She'll get her people out there to start voting for, and I hope they do. But yeah, we had a blast, and Noelle's got some new music getting ready to come out. She's getting ready to do an EP. Of course, if you haven't checked her out, because she was on, this is the second time for Noelle on the show, and had on more than once. I think her and Warren Meredith from Tame Sawyer are the only repeat guests that we've had. And, you know, she's got to get to the 5-timer club like we talked about Saturday Night Live. They did the 5-timer club. But, yeah, that's a joke. But, yeah, hopefully we can have her on many times. And we'll have her on anytime she wants to come on. It's an open invitation, just like it is for Warren to come on as well. Warren's been on 3 times. So he's ahead of her. But Tame and Sorry, getting ready to come out with new music. Warren was nice enough to let me hear a little sneak peek of the new song they've got coming up. I think it's going to be the 28th of this month. So you guys make sure you keep up with Tame and Sorry. And I'll tell you what I heard of it, it was freaking awesome. And not just saying that because I like the guy, but that band is freaking awesome. The official house band of On the Fly. And I guess Noelle, why do I say Nicole? Noelle is going to have to be the official country music singer of of On the Fly. So now this week we've got 3 shows this week. You know, Annie Vander, who is another country music artist that y'all know I call her Nicole. I'm getting Nicole from Brickshore Media mixed up with her. But Nicole from Brickshore Media, she has been nice enough to get these interviews for us. And Annie Vander, She's got a new song that just came out on the 14th. That was called Tonight. We're going to talk to her tomorrow night live right here at 8 o'clock. So make all your plans to be here watching and get your if you got any questions, comment. Guys, we love getting your comments in when we can see them up here. That's why you see it. If you guys see me when I'm doing a live video and I'm looking at my phone, just like I said, it's because I'm trying to keep up because it's on more than one platform like Facebook. It's on the Final Score. It airs on the Final Score. It airs on the Fly. It adds on my personal account. So if you see me doing this, I'm not being rude or anything like that. I'm just trying to see if there's any comments because I don't want to be rude there. I don't want people to think I'm not answering them. But so far, no comments. So, want to send a shout out to a guest of the show, former guest of the show, Kyle Barber. Kyle has been battling cancer. He's gone through chemo. You see Kyle commenting in here a lot, and I'm just reading this post. So if I'm a little excited, then yeah. Kyle just posted about 45 minutes ago on Facebook, just letting everyone know my scans came back good. As of today, I'm cancer free. Let's hope it stays that way. I'll post some more detailed posts later, but that is awesome news for Kyle. We've been praying for Kyle, and just he's a great guy, and he's got a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge, and we love having him on the show. He's one of them that's got an open invitation whenever he wants to come on as well. So Kyle, congratulations, buddy. I hope it stays that way. We've been praying. We have definitely been praying for you, and glad to hear this good news today. We need some good news around here. But yeah, Noel actually did it. David, yes, great news. I just a few minutes ago I just clicked on Facebook and saw it, and I'm just happy as I can be for him. I know that is like a big weight lifted off Kyle's shoulders. It's been a rough period of time for him when he's been going through this, and Kyle had some other things going on, and Kyle has persevered, and he does a great job. And gosh, I'm just happy as I can be for him. I can't get over that. I just can't get over it. That's just great news. I love hearing something like that. You hear so many bad stories, and to see something like this come up, pretty great. Pretty great. I don't mean to keep going on, but Noel, we both picked Walk Away Joe as our number one favorite Trisha Yearwood song. And Noel, the next day, she came on and did a cover on a reel on her Facebook, and I think it's on Instagram, all her social media. She sang Walk Away Joe. And she did a great job. That's just a beautiful song, with Don Henley's background vocals. That was what made me a Trisha Yearwood fan. And still to this day, Trisha Yearwood, I've yet to find a bad Trisha Yearwood song. But yeah, if you want to get I think I can pull it up. Hold on. Oh, I'm on Bluetooth. What's up, Steve Hill? I don't know if you heard Kyle. We were talking about Kyle is cancer free. We're great news from Kyle Barber. But yeah, the Trisha songs, Noel came up with some different ones. Actually one I hadn't heard before. They're called Who Invented the Wheel. And I've got to go back and listen to that. And but we had some releases on Friday. Metallica came out with their new album, which I have yet to listen to all the way through. But I'm looking forward to that. Also, look, Annie Vander. We were talking about her when I got the Kyle news. Annie Vander is a country music artist. We're going to interview her tomorrow night, and she's got a great story on how she came to country music, because it's not your typical story of you how you got there, how she got there, and we're gonna save that for tomorrow night. But like I said, her new single was Tonight, and it's I always look for the story of a song, and this has got a pretty good story, and I want a story that a lot of people can relate to. I think that makes the success of a song. Um, Jimmy Buffett is now a billionaire, according to Forbes. Well, I would think he would have. I thought he would have. Well, I don't know, a billionaire, but I knew he was well off with all the concerts he does and the Parrot Heads. He's got a cult following, not just a cult following, but you see the Parrot Heads. And I've come to appreciate Jimmy Buffett more, just like the Eagles. I mean, when I was a young guy, I didn't want to hear the Eagles. I wanted to hear Kiss. I wanted to hear, stuff like that. But the older I got, the more I appreciate like the Eagles and Jimmy Buffett. Oh, David, I'm nothing wrong with being a Parrot Head, dude. I just on my album review, Fruitcakes. I did Fruitcakes. What was the other one that? Son of a Sailor. I've listened to those two so far. So I'm if I start listening to one on this album challenge, I'm going to eventually listen to the whole discography. And I know that's a ways with Buffett that you got to go. But yeah, and I like Cheeseburger. Of course, everybody likes Cheeseburger in Paradise. That song gets played at a lot of our baseball games over at Northeast. It was blaring last week during the Will McCloud tournament, which we gave you an update. That went well. A lot of people came out for a good cause. And also, let's see. So Wednesday, I'm going to keep Wednesday in the bag because that's kind of Living and Dying in 3/4 Time, A1A, or your favorite albums. I will definitely that'll be the next two Jimmy Buffett albums on my list because David Richmond says they're good. They've got to be good. David, check out David, Kyle, and Bubba, and whoever else is. I can't remember all the people. They're the three I know of that are on the Sports Objective podcast. If you're the ECU sports fan, or if you're just like a college football fan, college baseball fan, basketball fan, check out the Sports Objective podcast with David and Bubba and Kyle. Matt Semenza, former ECU. How did I not know that? Former ECU player. Check them guys out. I've been on the show before. We actually came on and I think we bored Bubba to death because Kyle and David and myself are big time wrestling fans, and Bubba is just like over there snoozing while we were talking wrestling. But yes, David, I'll tell y'all the story. There's a YouTuber. There's a girl that's a YouTuber, and I think her name is Sadie Crowell. And my daughter watches her. She watches some of these YouTubers. Well, Sadie's brother plays baseball at Florida State. And I can't think of his name. Last name's Crowell. He's a pitcher, and evidently he's pretty good. But my daughter, for some reason, just went goo goo gaga over this guy. And she's Florida State guy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm an ECU guy, and you're talking about Florida State. And look, she bought a jersey, one of the T-shirt jerseys, and had his name on the back of it. And let me tell you, my mom is a diehard Carolina Tar Heel fan, and she does not like Florida State. I told my daughter, when you go in there and your grandma sees that shirt, she's going to be like, you're the apple of her eye, but that shirt's going to be something she don't like. And to be sure, she looked at the shirt. She just gave it like the stink eye, like, ugh, okay. But yeah, I was giving my daughter a hard time. We went out and ate lunch at Highway 55 in Ahoskie. Great atmosphere, great food over there at Highway 55 in Ahoskie. The only thing missing from our routine today, we have a routine when I'm off on Mondays. We usually go to eat somewhere in Ahoskie, whether it's Highway 55 or Pizza Inn, and a Hosky. We go eat there, and then we go to Hometown Nutrition in a Hosky, which those great girls over there. They've got protein shakes, energy teas, stuff like that. We love it over there. Me and my daughter are addicts for that place. So if you get a chance to go to Hosky, check them out. But we were eating lunch today, and I looked on my Facebook, and it came up ECU was number 7 in the nation, and I was like, "Where's Florida State at?" And she just kind of gave me a look. I did, yeah. I looked at their record, 13-22. Wow. Yeah, I saw a lot of posts this week, David, about Holton. If you guys don't know, I'm talking about ECU quarterback Holton Ahlers. He's graduating. He's in the draft. A lot of people are saying he could be a 3rd-round pick. That they compare his game to Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and I don't know. I mean, I think the more I'm hearing, somebody is going to take a chance on him, and maybe on the second day, maybe 3rd, 4th round, something like that. It's possible. I usually look at like some of these. There's one in particular website that I go to look at what he's saying about the mock drafts, where people are moving to, and I have not looked in the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna have to go up there tonight or tomorrow and look. So Wednesday, yeah, 7th round, David. Yeah, he could be. I mean, as long as he gets drafted and gets a chance. And this day and time, I mean, we started USFL this weekend. We've got the XFL going on. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to, if and heaven forbid, we don't hope that. We hope he can catch on with an NFL team. But if he gets on with, if he doesn't make an NFL team, go to the XFL or USFL and get noticed, get some game time out there and get noticed by these NFL teams. Get some playing time. You saw what's his name that played at Alabama. Shoot. He was backup quarterback for a lot of teams and did a good job with Cincinnati. He went to he decided to go to XFL because he wanted his kids to see him play. And he knew he wasn't going to get playing time in the NFL, but that's a guy that's into his career. So yeah, he wanted his kids, and he's kicking butt in the XFL right now. I cannot think of that guy's name, but I know he played for Alabama, and he was backup for the Bengals for a while. I know he wasn't with the Bengals last, but when Pittsburgh had that ugly playoff game against the Bengals, he was backup quarterback because Dalton was hurt. So Wednesday night, we've got one on the fly. We got two shows Wednesday night. We've got one in the bag that I'm not going to talk about. That's on the fly. That's a surprise. And because that's, if you're I don't want to say it without, you talking about the guy with the hot wife? Who are we talking about? Oh, Steve, you ain't right. We're gonna do that one. That one's gonna be about 7:30. Then, but first, before we do that, Final Score is gonna do the mock draft with local legend AJ McCarron. That's it, Steve. Yeah. AJ McCarron. He's the one. He decided to go to the XFL and get a starting job so his kids could see him play. So I don't blame him. I mean, if you've been in the NFL for that long and have been a backup, and you're going to get some playing time, and you can something that you can talk about with your kids. Say, "Hey, Daddy did this. This is what Daddy does," and you be able to see him on the field. He might not have got that chance in the NFL, so he went for the sure thing. Can't blame him there. AJ McCarron, I like AJ McCarron. But local sports radio legend Gaddis Hodges is going to be with us. Also going to have Matthew, of course, is going to be with us. Matthew has never done a mock draft. And I was trying to explain it to him how to do it. He was like, I don't know if but we got him straight, I think. And I haven't got any text from him. I hope he's doing his stuff. He's getting things straight, and he's see who he picks for the Giants should be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna do the mock draft. That's gonna be about 5:45 on Wednesday. So we're gonna be Wednesday night's gonna be a busy night for us here at the Final Score and on the Fly, which I would have it no other way. I was talking to one of my fellow podcast uh, buddies, and I consider him a buddy now because I hope he does me. Uh, from the Potter Than Hell podcast. Yeah, that's a Kiss podcast, but they talk about they just did a whole month, the whole last month of Metallica. I mean, it was nothing. Every episode was Metallica related, and we were talking today about how the podcast was doing, how viewers were doing, and I was I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not putting up gigantoid numbers or anything like that as far as download stuff. I'd love to be, but guess what? It's something that me and him talked about, and he made it clear, and I feel the same way. I've told several people this. As long as I'm having fun doing this, yeah, would it be nice to get a freaking million downloads a month? Yeah, of course it would be. But as long as I'm having fun, and as long as I get to have people up here in the chat room like Steve and David and other people, Robert's in here a lot, all those guys that come in here, and to be able to talk to people that are, I can debate with, I can get stuff off my chest, and to be able to talk to some celebrities or some singers. I mean, I've done a lot of Steelers. How would I ever got to interview all these Steeler guys that I have, or these ECU players? I've got a friendship with some of these ECU players that I would never have thought. Um, so yeah, as long as you guys are enjoying it, as long as I'm having fun, I'm going to be around for a long time. We're coming up on the almost at 175 episodes of the Final Score, and we're almost at 100 on the Fly. So we kind of want to do something special for episode 100. I'm working on something, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out. One of my big, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys this. I had something. If you're like a Kiss fan, I have something kind of big in my eyes. Steve, sometimes we do project trades, but it's kind of, I don't know, unless it's a sure thing, I just pick all the way through. Sometimes Gaddis will do a trade, and I think we've done a few trades, but it just most of the time we pick all the way through. But I had something in the works that I was hoping was going to be big, and for me it would have been. I'm a big Kiss fan. Ace Frehley, when he left Kiss, had his own band called Frehley's Comet, and the two of the guys that were in that band, one we've already had on before. We've had Todd Howarth, who played some guitar. He did a lot of the vocals, and one of my favorite all-time songs called "It's Over Now" that Frehley's Comet put out their second site. I will keep you in mind, Steve. I sure will. There's been a lot of people asking. We just kept it to 3 this time. When I've got, maybe we can get you back on and just kind of for the review when we decide to talk about who picked what and what we thought about it. If you want to do that, and then you probably do that the week after if you want to come on and give and we'll see where you were in line with us. But Todd Howarth, like I said, he was vocalist. He did a lot of songs on Second Sight, and I think the stories I hear, and not from Mr. Howarth, but the stories I hear from reading, from people talking to other podcasts, that Ace apparently wasn't reliable on Second Sight, so they had to get Todd to do a lot of the singing. And I'm telling you, he did a great job. He's got a killer voice. He's been in Cheap Trick, Ted Nugent, 4 by Fate. I actually got, hold on. Excuse me. Getting old. Todd did some CDs, and he did like songs on his own. He produced, he wrote all the songs, recorded, produced, and shipped all of them. He offered them, and one of them, he called all of them Canvas. Like this one, if you can see that glare is on there, Coastal Canvas. And then Heavy Canvas, which has got some heavy on. And then he did Comic Canvas, which is him redoing some of the Frehley's Comet songs, like Time Ain't Running Out, New Kind of Lover, Fallen Angel, Breakout. It's Over Now. The ones that he did on Frehley's Comet. And yeah, I had Todd lined up. Well, the bass player was Mr. John Reagan. And John has been on like Peter Frampton. He's been on a lot of big things. And I've been talking to him on and off for about 3 years to Mr. Reagan about coming on the show. And he after I got Mr. Howarth, and I'll call him Mr. because I'm respecting people. That's why I do it. But after I got Mr. Howarth on, I talked to Mr. Reagan. I was like, I'd love to have you on the show. He said, maybe when I've got something to talk about, I don't have anything. People don't want to hear same old from me. And I said, you'd be surprised. But anyway, so about 3 months ago, first of the year, I talked to him. And I said, look, I want to get you on the show. And then he was like, well, blah, blah. He said, I said, well, what if I got you and Mr. Howarth on at the same time? How would that work for you? And he was like, that's an interesting idea. So I talked to Mr. Howarth, and he was all for it. And just getting the times was because these guys are busy guys. And Sunday before last, I was texting back and forth with both of them, and we were getting times lined up, dates lined up. And the next day, I found out that Mr. Reagan had passed away. And, it was so sad because this guy didn't know me from a hole in the wall. I had sent him a friend request on Facebook. He almost immediately accepted it. And we had got texted back and forth. He would always send me birthday wishes, Christmas wishes. We would do that back and forth. Just a great guy. It's just sad that he's gone. I hate it that we didn't get to get him on here. I really do, but I hate it more that he's gone. And it's sad to see these guys go that you grew up watching. And you get to the age. I'm gonna be 50 this year, and then you get to this age, and you're gonna. I've just got to realize it's gonna happen a lot with some of these guys. Look at Gene Simmons the other night. Kiss kicked back off their end of the road tour. It's maybe going to end sometime soon. But Gene Simmons, and they're in South America. Gene Simmons wearing 40 pounds of gear on besides his body weight, and he got sick on stage, and they had to, they sat him down in a chair. He was playing bass in a chair. And then you see the video. Paul Stanley's like, we need to stop the show and take care of him. And they stopped for about 5-10 minutes, and he came back and he was fine. He ended up the next day saying that he was fine. David, happy birthday, buddy. I did say that. So me and you were 73 guy, just like me. There's great things happened in 1973. That's all I got to say. Kiss, I think Kiss was formed in 1973. So great things happened in 1973. So they came back. He said vintage 73. Exactly. They came back, and Gene said the next day he was dehydrated. And you got to realize, guys, and people were bad mouthing the band. This guy's in his 70s. These guys are, him and Paul are in their 70s. And, how in the heck can you, this guy's giving it everything he had for you? This is their 50th year as a band. I mean, they've been on the road all these years, and he's up there on stage giving everything he's got, and he gets sick because he's dehydrated. He's got all that gear on, he's sweat, and you're going to badmouth him? You better be glad they're still out there. I mean, some people say, well, I wish they'd just go away, but, come on. These are guys that I'm I said it on one of my shows. It's just surprising to me all these years that one of them has not passed away. It's surprising, but they must take really good care of themselves. They stayed in pretty good health. So Paul's had some hard issues over the years, but where he couldn't play a show. Mr. Martin Acosta, if you're listening, guy, thank you so much, and that's another one I want to thank for your work today on the AC/DC brackets. Appreciate you. I tagged you, and guys, if anybody I tag out there does not appreciate it, let me know. I'm sorry. I just do that to try to get more people to see it. And but just let me know, and I'll be glad not to tag you and stuff. But Martin Acosta, thank you so much. Yes, Gene Simmons is very awesome. He is. Foreigner on their farewell tour. Yes, that's another band too. And people give Foreigner a lot of crap because even Lou Gramm, and I love Lou Gramm. Lou Gramm's voice is one of those iconic voices. It's a voice that when you hear his voice, first thing you think is that's Foreigner. I mean, my mom always said that there was two distinct voices that she knew. One was Elvis. One was Chris Daughtry, and Chris Daughtry was of course, a local boy, and she was kind of biased, but Chris has got a very distinctive voice as well. But people giving them crap because they don't have. Mick Jones might make an appearance and then like for a few minutes and then leave. Dude, I mean, if you don't want to go see them, don't go see them. Don't badmouth them. I mean, unless they do something personally to you, let it go. Let it go. Just enjoy it while it's here. Foreigner played Kelly Hansen. I remember Kelly Hansen back when I was like 16 or 17 years old, played in a band called Hurricane. And I bought the CD. It was Over the Edge. And he has got his voice. If you go back and listen to the Hurricane back then, and then listen to Foreigner now, Kelly Hansen with Foreigner now, his voice is just about the same. He does a great job. If you have not checked out Hurricane from back then, that's Over the Edge album is really great. But yeah, Foreigner. I mean, you got bands like Foreigner. REO Speedwagon still going. Styx is still going. Who else? Who else is out there still going? I mean, there's so many that are still going. But if you don't like them, if you just like with Kiss, I don't care. I mean, I know Paul's voice is going. He's 70-some years old. He's been singing his butt off for 50 years. So, of course, his voice is not going to sound the same as it did like on a live. And he made the comment. And Paul can be kind of condescending at times here, especially here lately. But Def Leppard's still going, right, David? Yeah, Def Leppard's still going. Metallica's getting up there. They're not quite as – Metallica's no spring chickens either. So they're going out on tour. But, yeah, Paul made a comment one time, if you want to hear me sound like I did back in the 70s, you need to listen to Alive too. So, yeah, give them a break, dudes. They're 70 years old. They've got wear and tear, just like Bon Jovi. Now, Aerosmith too, yeah. Martin, I was just telling him earlier, I have not got a chance to listen to it the whole way through. I'm planning on doing that hopefully today. Guns N' Roses, all those bands, Poison, are still going back out. Will we get new music out of them? Who knows? Metallica just, a lot of these bands are like Def Leppard just put out one last year that was pretty good. And of course, Metallica. Um, who Kiss is saying they don't need to do any more new music, but one more new album from Kiss would be pretty awesome if they went and got a outside producer, outside people to do it. I think Paul did the last two, which was Sonic Boom and Monster. Monster was not good. Sonic Boom was a little bit better than Monster, but not the best. And the production on it was not the best. But I think if they got somebody to go outside the band to produce and do all that with it, I think it would be good. They said there was no money in it. And I'm like, do you really, after all these years, need to worry about money? And I know it's a business, like the guy said in Purple Rain, this is a business, but give the fans something to remember you by. That's another thing that Kiss hasn't been doing. They're doing the off the soundboard deal, which I love. Putting the last off the soundboard was Poughkeepsie from 1984, the Animalized tour. A rare Mark St. John appearance on stage before he had that swelling of his hand and everything, and Bruce Kulick took over. So there was only one. I think there was only two shows that St. John played, and this is one of them. I'm hearing not the best, but you got a piece of history there with that. That's the main thing with this vinyl. And off the soundboard, it's just like it sounds off the soundboard. It's not going to be mixed where all the imperfections out of it. It's coming right off the soundboard. So deal with it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't listen to it. I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, I think there's a place for new music for some of these bands, but I don't know. I don't know if you ever. I doubt. I don't. I'm about 100% sure you'll never see another Kiss album again. A new one, a brand new Kiss album. No. Mm-mm. But let's see what else is up here. What else we got going on? AC/DC's Brian Johnson gets a statue of himself unveiled in Belgium. Did you guys see that? Commemorates his first live performance with the band in 1980. Is there a Bon Scott statue somewhere? Let's see. 40 years Journey, Faithfully. Their Frontiers off the ballad off Frontiers. 40 years old. How in the heck? We're really getting old. Nothing else really going on that you can see. I mean, it's just Def Leppard making a biopic. I know Kiss is making a biopic. It's supposed to be coming on Netflix at the end of the year. New music releases. Is there any? Let's see what we got coming out new. And this is just rock stuff. Def Leppard. Winger's coming out with a new one. How about that? I liked Winger. I mean, a lot of people gave him crap. Of course, Metallica ruined their career. Between Metallica and Beavis and Butthead, they ruined. I saw Def Leppard back in 2015 with them and Kiss went out. Yeah, they were great. You're right, David. They are great live. David, I don't know how you feel. I think my days. Hello, Miss Nicole. Wow. Ain't you supposed to be working? Ain't you working on getting me some more interviews? Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you, Nicole from Brickshore Media. She is the lovely lady that has set up all these interviews, these great interviews with like Noel, Justin, Molly, Andrea, and now with Annie coming up tomorrow night. Winger's coming out with new. Smashing Pumpkins coming out with one. Oh wow. Rick Springfield, a reissue. Scott Weiland's coming out with, of course, a reissue. he passed away. I don't know how many years ago that was. Since Scott Weiland's been gone. Dave Matthews Band, Def Leppard, which is oh, you're working. I'm taking up your. I'm distracting you. Is what it is. We need to have a Whose Line Is It Anyway up here. We'll bring you on it. Bring all these all the Brick Shore Media clients up here and have like a improv. We can do the question game. We can do the question game where every sentence has to be a question. That would be funny. Neil Sean's actually coming out with a solo album. Let's see. Yes, I'm not a big Yes fan. Alan Parsons Project, which is a Blu-ray re-edition of The Turn of a Friendly Card. I remember Alan Parsons Project. That was but they were the ones that did the micro. They actually did the Chicago Bulls entrance music. Remember that? That was Eye in the Sky, but they had like a intro to it, an instrumental intro to it called Sirius. And I bought that cassette just because it had the Chicago Bulls entrance music up there. Yeah. I probably listened to that and Eye in the Sky, and I didn't listen to anything else after that. So June and beyond, there's Rats coming out with a reissue, 1984 to 1990 5 CD box set. Steve Lukather from Toto, he's coming out with something. Hollywood Vampires live in Rio. So a lot of good stuff coming out. I'm trying to keep up with a lot of this new stuff, new country music. Of course, my daughter has turned me into a Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs fan. Luke Combs, I have not listened to that new album. I listened to Morgan Wallen. That was like 36 songs, but I'm telling you, they were great. It was great. I mean, I see why everybody likes this guy. The Luke Combs, I've heard a little bit from what my daughter's played, and he's got some great songs too. So I'm looking forward to when I get to that on my list. Like I said, I've got a list over here, and I'm steady adding to. And I'm an old school guy. That's a page of it right there. And then next page. So there's a lot for me to listen to and a lot for me to get to. But I love music. I'm a music guy. There's nothing. I would hate to go a day without listening to music. It would be sad. But sports and music and movies, entertainment stuff. We're gonna do some movie stuff here. Like I've got a lot of ideas I'm working on. I've just got to get people that are, that want to help out and do it on the final score stuff, or some top 10 lists. We've got movie reviews. We're gonna do some watch alongs and hopefully get some more interviews up here. Wink, wink, Nicole. And we actually have 5 lined up through Nicole and Brick Shore Media. So, yeah, I cannot say anything about Nicole. She's keeping me busy, and I enjoy it. And looking forward to working with her for a while. She's been nothing but great. And Noelle will be back on again when after she puts her EP out, or when she's getting ready to put her EP out, which is exciting to me. I can't wait to hear this new stuff. But yeah, this update that I was going to do this is why I love doing this stuff. This update that I was going to do that last like 10 minutes has turned into about 50 minutes. And it's caused not a bad thing. It's because you guys came in here and wanted to talk back and forth. I love it. Thank you guys so much. As a kid, another thing that I like to do, I collected like baseball, football cards, basketball cards, and I've got a guy that's hopefully coming on. Fingers crossed. He's a YouTube guy, and all he does is he gets on like collectors or eBay and buys these wax packs and opens them up, and it just, man, I don't know what it is. It's simple as that, but it takes me back to like when I was a kid, and because he's like, okay, before he opens every pack, he's like, okay, I'm hoping I get this, like 89 Upper Deck. And I know this is like pops and buzzes to some of you that don't know baseball cards. 89 Upper Deck. If you got a pack of 89 Upper Deck, you were looking to get a Griffey Jr., a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. And he's done a whole week. He did a whole week last week of Griffey Mania. He opened wax packs every day, and whatever Griffey's he got, if you commented and liked each live or each show he did, you were entered into a contest to win one of those Griffies. And I think he's supposed to do the drawing tonight at 7, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully I'm getting him on. We're going to venture out into new territory, and I'm enjoying it, guys, and I love doing these updates. I've been, if you haven't noticed, I've been doing more of them, and that's because of you guys and the interaction I have with you guys. David, let me know about next week. I've got a couple next week, so if we can get on whatever day you can try to get me on, fit me in, would be great. I'd love to get back on the show with you guys again. Thank you to Martin. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Record Store Day 2023 is coming up. You're right. Unfortunately, the closest record store I've got to me is about, it's probably Greenville, which is about an hour and 15 hour away, something like that. And, I don't know if they'll do all that. David, what is there a record store that I'm missing close by? Do you even do vinyl or anything like that? Because I know you're in Williamston, but I don't know. I mean, I know there's one in Wilson that I went to a couple years ago that was pretty good, but I don't know of any store that just sells vinyl around it. Our Walmarts sell vinyl, but they're not going to do record day stuff. So, I mean, I'm just in a town. I love this town. I will never leave this town till the day I die, probably. And I hope I don't, because I love it. It's quiet. I'm in a small town of about 95 people, and I love it. And, the closest Walmart is like 30 minutes on each direction. So that's the only bad, and which is not a bad thing, I think. I don't have to go to Walmart all the time anymore. I did when I was younger, but not anymore. But let me see. Is that it? You want to go for a whole hour? But anyway, thank you guys for coming. Steve, Nicole, David, Martin. If I missed anybody else, let me scroll back up and see if I missed anybody else. Houston Ball, we got to get you on, sir. As a wrestling guy, we got to get you on here. I've seen some of the stuff you've been doing. We got to get you on here sometime. But guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to finish up some stuff around here, and I've got a meeting to go to in a couple hours. And you guys, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Thank you for checking our brackets out, like the ACDC bracket on Twitter. Thank you for all the retweets. Thank you for everything you do. You guys on Twitter, you guys are awesome. Guys in here, you are awesome. And thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you next time when we do another update. Like I said, this week's going to be busy for us, but we'll see you next time on The Fly and on The Final Score.